so excited that I'm really back. It's been like 2 months, yeah, but I've been preparing some stuff. 2020, I wanted to be different from 2019. I'm really preparing good things. I want this show to be the best show for young people, for the people that show that we disseminate the information and we spread the right information to young people and across the country and all categories of age brackets from maybe 10 to even to 100, as long as the information is good for the people. So today we've been at Fairway Hotel. So many advocates, lawyers, human rights defenders, CSOs, civil society organizations. They had the press conference on stigma and discrimination, HIV stigma and discrimination. We're talking about the MC cats, our friend, our brother, and of course we're talking about the MC cats, but in a bigger context where people, where MC cats represents a bigger community, bigger society. It's not about the MC cats, but it is about the community that we are living in. Recently, MC cats disclosed his status that he's HIV and that he's living with HIV and is on treatment, which people took it like as an advantage, maybe to put him down, like all his career and say all the things that really that the society keeps stigmatizing and because of lack of information, maybe there is misinformation about HIV, which of course the CSOs, they are doing their best to say that they empower community information, they sensitize. So before I take you any further, I want to first happen what happened and listen to what these advocates and what they had to say.
This conversation face. So we are here to emphasize how important it is that as a country, as citizens of Uganda, we get back to the roots. That it is Uganda that led the whole world in recognizing that we need to fight together, we need to end AIDS, and here we are again coming together to show how important it is that we deal with so many issues, but importantly that we address the issue of stigma and discrimination. That if we don't, then it will take us back 35 years from where we come from. So we are here to discuss this important issue in terms of how can we scale up the response, the fight against HIV and AIDS. How can we reach the 1990 and how can we end AIDS by 2030? How do we deal with the key issues that we feel if we don't address, they'll take us back where we come from, or they will limit us from reaching that goal that we all aspire to get to. So our panelists will be helping us to dig into one important aspect, stigma and discrimination, and how it affects the public good, how it impacts adherence.
Okay.
How it affects retention and how it leads to loss to follow. So that is why we are here, and as a community, as organizations that are working on health, organizations that are working on HIV and AIDS, we are committed to ensuring that we reach the 1990 targets, but also that we are able to end AIDS and that we are able to take back our country to being the leader in HIV response. So thank you very much, and I want to leave it at that. Our panelists who are going to help us really get into what it means and how best we can work together as a country to address and eliminate stigma and discrimination so that we are able to lead the response to where it is supposed to be.
Uganda Young Committee. It's a national non-government organization that coordinates and mobilizes young people living with HIV, scalar prevention, care and support services. I am the executive director.
Who's the
reading this statement on behalf of people living with HIV in Uganda. And we are challenging stigma and the negative HIV disclosure. We all know that the AIDS epidemic in 35 years in Uganda, over the 3 decades, Uganda has moved from ignorance, denial, and fear to acceptance, openness, political leadership, and aggressive response, which culminated into declining prevalence rates by early 2000. This intentionally acclaimed multi-sectoral aggressive response placed Uganda global leadership, from which many countries around the world emulated as an example. From a community perspective, families that were directly and personally affected, who had no hope of a cure or treatment, did the work of HIV and AIDS through care and love of their own. This is the core foundation upon which the AIDS Support Organization, commonly known as TASO, the largest community-based non-governmental organization in sub-Saharan Africa, was founded in 1987. Additionally, the heroic stand by the late Phile Bongole Taya, an acclaimed musician and celebrity who took a bold step to break the silence, openly disclosing his HIV status in the year 1989, set a remarkable global record. The late Phile taught us and the world that the greatest enemy was not HIV, but ignorance, denial, stigma, discrimination, which caused a lot of fear and isolation. These deterred people who were infected from seeking support, seeking care and services. But the late Phile courageously broke the walls of silence by using his talent and prominence as a celebrity that demystified HIV/AIDS. This he personalized in his renowned song, Alone and Frightened. As a community, we are greatly dismayed that 35 years down the road, we are retrogressing as a country that led the world. We are undermining what we have done right, accepting, caring, supporting our loved ones as communities. We should be doing better given the hope of phenomenal scientific breakthrough on prevention and treatment. This combined with love, care, and psychosocial support has been tested, proved to enable a person infected with HIV to live a long and meaningful, productive life. The recent experience faced by one of us who has opened up received a lot of condemnation, judgment, stigma, scorned, and dishumanized, ostracized, has left us as a community of HIV and human rights activists worried. And therefore, we have these simple asks that we want to reach out to all Ugandans who are watching us.
Here to emphasize the following.
demonstrate our solidarity as a big and formidable community to our colleagues and all persons whose rights are violated as a result of stigma and discrimination. We are here to hold the public, media and presenters accountable as stakeholders in our national response to HIV. We wish to sound a strong call to all of us as a community and remind ourselves that Uganda has invested enormously in the response of HIV and AIDS. We cannot afford to erode the gains that we have made as a country. We demand that the media, as a fourth arm of government, exhibits responsible reporting that promotes human rights, sensitivity, and meaningfully contributes to fighting HIV and AIDS. We further call upon the general public to respect our rights, privacy of our families, and freedom of expression, safety, and association. We know that HIV is preventable and treatable. We are convinced now more than ever that HIV-related stigma is inexcusable and unacceptable. United we stand, the struggle continues.
And representing performing artists on this committee. And when you talk of artists, you talk about fame. And when you are famous, stories have a lot of challenges. So when we look at this young activist who came out to disclose, and we feel the media is really trying to point on him, as artists we feel depressed. We feel disappointed, and I think this is the time. Because I remember there was a time when media could come out on a certain day and say that so and so is had HIV. I don't think that one is very appropriate. I think this is the time we have already reached a level where I feel we, including media, because you're as famous as the artists, so that we respect each other and we respect their families as well. Our request for almost each and everyone out there, the community, the media, the artists, I think this is the time where we need to understand if someone comes out and says something about his status, you don't have to talk about it anymore. People like Philip came and disclosed, taking all that time when he was right there, and then he comes out and gave us hope. And in this year, people are really making people to go back where they couldn't disclose. I think that's not an appropriate kind of behavior we should do now. So I request everyone out there, we as artists, we come out to the forefront, and you as media, because you are as famous as us, this is the time when we need to support each other and give hope. Otherwise, that coming out and trying to point out to people, I don't think it's appropriate. Thank you.
And I represent I'm on the board of the Uganda AIDS Commission representing civil society. At the same time, I'm a person living with HIV/AIDS, and I represent a big constituency of people living with HIV/AIDS. We call ourselves the champions, but there are many other champions out there. And I just wanted to say today that this young man has become a champion. To me, showing the face of this pandemic and coming out and disclosing your status, you are a champion. And I'm so surprised that many years, because the Uganda AIDS Commission does not condone, totally condemns any form of stigma and discrimination against people with HIV. And now let me talk in my other capacity, as a person living with HIV, as a person who has been in this movement, as a person who myself faced stigma many years ago, that this should not be happening at this time and age. This is not the time when we are trying to end HIV/AIDS in this country by 2030. We're trying to end AIDS as a public health disaster by 2020. The president himself came out with a fast-track initiative, and he told us very clearly. He gave his five points, and to be able to go through those 5 points that were made by him, it's very clear that stigma and discrimination is the basis of almost all this disease. For us, we believe, as people who came out, that if this young man is ostracized, we are all being ostracized. It is hitting against all of us. So I want to call upon the public, I want to call upon the social media fanatics. I want to call upon all those people who are coming out. Yesterday I was watching a program, because I have to give real examples. I saw this article in red paper, I was dismayed. Not at this time. It was a stigmatizing article. I was watching the TV yesterday, and there was a program. It's supposed to be a celebrity program. People are supposed to be enjoying it, and the same things come out. Can we please be sensitive? Can we please know that today it's me, tomorrow someone else? These should be the words that the media should go with. Today it is me, tomorrow someone else. I sang it a long time ago. It is happening even now. And right now, as we are talking, we do not know the status of everybody, all the media people. We do not know the status of all the celebrities. We do not know the status of all those people who have been eating at this young man. Please let us leave him in peace to deal with this situation. We are there to support him. We are a big formidable force. We are critical mass. And I just want to warn all those who are continuing stigma and discrimination against this young man that you are fighting with a strong, formidable force. Thank you.
My name is Major Rubaramira Ruranga, retired. I'm no longer fighting with guns, but I'm still fighting. Panelists, young people in the media, for me, on reading this message, I got shocked. That after all these years, that there are people with backward minds to an extent of coming openly to insulting someone just for a disease. I got opened so many years ago, I think in 90s, early 90s. Remember, as an army officer, it was not easy. But we would have expected, especially the media, which is the fourth estate, to understand this problem. Not to condemn anyone, because it's a disease. And it's not the only disease. There's leprosy. There's tuberculosis. Also many non-communicable diseases that are killing people. HIV is not funny, it's not unique. May I feel so sad, and I did not come here to condemn anyone, but I came to share an advice. Surely, are we trying to prevent the spread? And is this the way we do it? By condemning an individual who has decided to say, look, I have HIV. I look like the way I look. I may not be the only one. Some of you may. That you have not shown yourself does not mean you don't have it. If they brought a machine here, it's not us who will only be found with HIV. Some of you will be found with HIV. Condemnation is wrong. It's completely wrong, and I hope it does not happen again. I also want to tell my colleagues with HIV, because feeling stigmatized is a sense of loss of self-identity. This is not the time we lose self-identity. If there are fools out there who are going to abuse us, let them do. But we need to remain strong. We need to remain formidable. Because we know HIV can be fought. Me, I have HIV. I also have diabetes. And I find diabetes more complicated than HIV. Actually, it's like people who wanted to beat a certain woman that she had committed adultery. And then Jesus said, let the one who has not done it throw the stone. You people, unless you are important, why should you expect not to be a candidate to HIV? Unless you don't go on a border where you can fall down and the two of you, the blood of the infected goes into the one who is not infected. You don't have to have sex in order to be infected. You can be infected in many ways. But why this stigma? Why this condemnation? Madam from Uganda AIDS Commission. I have issues. I have issues. Why should people at this time still be so ignorant about what HIV is? After 35 years, people are still ignorant? Why have we kept HIV to individuals, individualizing the problem? And you make it a very big problem by thinking it's an individual thing. There is intrinsic behavior when we do things, and there is extrinsic behavior when we do things. The intrinsic is that you have the heart. You want to do something because of its goodness. The extrinsic is that you go there to do it because you want something there. Is that what is going on? We should take HIV to homesteads, to households. Counseling is done there in the house. Results are given. People learn from that house that you don't get HIV necessarily because you have gone with someone, you have had sex elsewhere, but you can get HIV. I'm telling you, there is no mother, there is no father who would hate, there is no brother who would hate the other brother because they have told them in the house that they are HIV reactive. All this problem is going on canon because people have individualized the problem. We must stop. And we need to go back to the community. We need to go back to the households. If we don't do this, then it is just an intrinsic and extrinsic drive that is putting us in this work. We are dealing with HIV for all these years and people have not changed. There's something wrong. And we need to fight this. So I'm so glad that you have called this meeting. I'm so glad about this activism. I want to tell Nafofanu that we need to wake up. We need to be more active. This problem is more with us, and we are the ones to save other people. Please let's not have this again. Thank you.
My country, and you would expect a country that has 98% of its people religious, there should be a way they behave in terms of loving, in terms of being kind, in terms of being empathic. I don't know why we have a blame culture that is so more pronounced than a love culture. Tomorrow is Christmas, and the angel found people and said, do not be afraid. And all this stigma and shame and denial is caused because of fear, irrational fear of people living with HIV. People thinking that if you are positive, you are going to die so quickly. That's not correct. People thinking that if you are near someone, you'll contract. You know, I was reading the newspapers and people were asking me, but don't you think this young man he has come out, but couldn't he have infected others? The question is, by keeping quiet, would that help non-transmission? I thought we should now be saying, thank God that now he's making people aware that there is a risk. So, love, love, love. My second point is on what Major Ruranga, our father in the fight against AIDS after Phile, has said. That is there where we can really move away from individualizing the problem to communitalizing the problem. Because that's where the problem is. Abstain if you can't be faithful, if you can't use condoms. So when Gideon says I'm positive, people say, oh, he didn't abstain, he was not faithful, he didn't use condoms. What type of religious leader is he? And he calls himself a professor and he's a canon. I think we need to move beyond that and help people to understand that HIV means human immunodeficiency virus. If Gideon or any other person who is HIV positive was a tree, then you would be surprised how come that a tree has a human disease. But once they say this is a human virus, it attacks humans. Anyone with the fresh of blood, semen, vaginal fluids, breast milk is at risk. So let's destigmatize this thing and use the approach the religious leaders who are living with HIV has sponsored. And I don't know why, Madam Lydia Mungerera, you are here. I don't know why things are born here, they are used by other countries, and Uganda doesn't use them. The approach that is helping communities move beyond the was developed long ago. It's being implemented in Kenya, in Rwanda, in DRC, that you need two approaches to fight and end stigma. One is a fork that multiplies safe practices, access and adherence to treatment, voluntary, routine and stigma-sensitive counseling and testing, and empowering those who are living with or vulnerable to or impacted by HIV. The key word there is empowering, not condemning, not abusing, but you empower them. You give them the information, the skills, the services, and the love they need. The other angle is to reduce the stigma, the shame, the denial, the discrimination, the inaction and misaction. In Uganda, you media people, you are part of the solution to this fight. Ask every person who says, I am a policy maker, or I do budgets on AIDS, ask them, how much money are you allocating on fighting stigma, shame, denial, discrimination? What policy is it? Where are we? How do we compare how we were on stigma 20 years ago and 20 years now? A member of parliament, when they are looking for votes from you, ask them, may I know what you are going to do to reduce the stigma, the shame, the denial, the discrimination, the inaction and misaction around AIDS? If a religious leader is going to preach, ask them, what message are you going to preach around these issues of stigma, shame, denial, discrimination, inaction and misaction? We cannot continue being people who blame more, empathize less, and support rarely. We should be doing the reverse, that we should blame less, empathize deeper, and support better. Something like what the Diocese of Namirembe did for me. Really, why can't people learn from Namirembe Diocese that a man who is public and positive is helped, is empowered, is groomed, and he's to the level of being a canon, to the level of being a professor? You know, when others are being mistreated, I mean, you know, government can go to Namirembe and say, can we learn from you on how we can treat our people? Because every person living with HIV is very productive, is very important, is an asset, as long as they are empowered, supported, loved, and cared for. May God bless you.
You've had Miss Lydia from AIDS Commission also condemning the act of people are using internet in a bad way. You've had Major General Rangaranga. You've had the musician, the artists talking about race. These are their messages, concern, and then we look after them as they are our elders. And when they come up and condemn this act, I feel like it's a concern, and it's a public concern that everyone should come up and start talking about. Of course, this is the community that is still marginalized, and everyone is broken up with HIV. Because if these people, we can give them the space to talk about their HIV, this cause, and talk about how they are living with HIV, how they're opening up this stress and everything. There is no way we are going to fight HIV. It's been like 3 decades, like 35 years, we are still fighting since the big government and the red big government are declaring that this is HIV. Because since that day, people have been fighting to create a space, an environment where these people can talk about it. For instance, the scenario of our friend, the MC Cats. It is crossed and people started talking about it. People started saying he has been infecting people, he has been doing this, knowing it. But sometimes it is not true. That's why I want us to trust it. It is not true. It's like there's a society. And the thing is that we don't have evidence that that's people. Who knows? We have to use protection. But I think right now it's about giving him a space also now to start talking about this. He's now a child, he's now an ambassador for HIV, and everyone can get it. You can get an accident, God forbid, but you can get an accident and get HIV. You can be somewhere. So there's no way we can keep stigmatizing these people and feel like for us we are excluded, we can't get HIV. No, we can get HIV. But what are the solutions that the society, there are people, the elders, like how we are coming up to say, I interviewed the former Miss Wilders and they're talking about this, about the stigmatization, and what we can do. You can listen to her story.
Hello, my name is Navanova Alice Vivian, an ambassador from the Uganda Network of Young People Living with HIV, and I work as a peer network coordinator at Alive Medical Services. So today we are at a press conference that is trying to challenge all the stigma and discrimination directed to people living with HIV. This press conference was triggered by the incidents that are happening around MC Katz's disclosure. Media and social media and various people have come out to challenge him or to make him feel bad about himself, and this is not good. This kind of stigma makes people feel like they're valueless, like they don't even need to be in this world, and this is not good. We need to stop this. We need to challenge this, and it has to be done by everyone out there, because today I might be here as a person living with HIV and you're going to point fingers at me, but while you're pointing fingers at me, you will not know your status, because before you know your status, you cannot even be in position to start pointing fingers at others. So this kind of, the discrimination makes people lose their value. Like, it is there, but they lose it, like they don't think they are worthy of anything. So someone will maybe resort to having vengeful ideas. Someone will want to maybe revenge or make you feel what they feel because you're pointing fingers at them. So all this needs to stop. We, as ambassadors from the Uganda Network of Young People Living with HIV, UNIPA, we are here to challenge these kinds of ideas that come from people. I remember, actually it was yesterday that so my friend of mine texted me and she was trying to worry. She was worried that maybe I'm going to die because she saw me doing something that seemed inappropriate for my health. So she called me and she's like, oh my God, you're going to be like MC Katz, you might die. And I'm thinking, this girl has known me for a very long time. Just because she found out about my status a few months ago, now she sees me differently. So it is a very hurtful thing. Like for maybe relating it to MC Katz's issue, he has been in the media and he was very okay and he was working, he was doing everything he had to do. But the moment he disclosed publicly, everyone thinks he has a problem. Everyone thinks he's maybe running mad or whatsoever. Yeah, people get frustrated. Even people that are negative get frustrated. So let's not dwell on it and then act like MC Katz is going to die tomorrow, because because he's not actually going to die. If he has lived with the virus, like he said in his videos, he has lived with the virus for a very long time. Then why are we trying to challenge him now that he has disclosed? Why are we thinking he's mad because he has disclosed it publicly? And today's issue is actually not just about cats, because this stigma is everywhere. It is beyond cats, and we are trying to challenge it because we are trying to protect the people that might want to come out and disclose so they can live their lives freely without hiding. And then when they see what is happening to the people that are already disclosing, they will feel bad, or they will be scared to come out and disclose their status, or even to just a partner, because they are going to feel like, I'm not going, if I disclose to my partner, they are going to do this to me, or they are going to do that to me. Or so it makes someone scared, and if they don't disclose, it jeopardizes the status of their partner or whoever they are maybe are having sex with, which is unprotected. So we are here to preach to see the end of stigma. We are trying to fight stigma, and it begins with us. It begins with me, it begins with you, and then it spreads out to everyone. Let us not discriminate people because of their status, because personally I can do much, like I can do a lot of things that a negative person can do, or even more. I mean, it is not my status that is going to make me do things or not make me do things. So let us stop discriminating people because of their status. And not just status, by the way. This whole stigma thing and discrimination is way bigger than even HIV. People discriminate others because maybe they're seated in a wheelchair, maybe because they have a different color. So the whole discrimination idea and stigma should stop.
That was Miss White Plus, former Miss White Plus, strong message. She was also talking about discrimination, she was talking about society, talking about young people, what to do. And of course, it's not about that when you're having HIV, having HIV is not a death sentence. It is not. People have lived with HIV for so many years, for like 5 decades or 3 decades, because having HIV, you still do normal activities, you still go to work, like you're a normal person, you're a human being. So, and of course we have the board member, Miss India, also talked about how he feels about this struggle and the movement that advocates human rights coming up and having this press conference about stigma and discrimination. You can also listen to her views on this whole scenario.
I feel very good as an HIV/AIDS activist that we're able to have this forum. I'm telling you that Uganda, we have done well. We are able to come and sit and talk about this. Maybe in another country they've not even allowed it. That is, we have a stigma-free environment. And as a first person who's on the Uganda AIDS Commission board, I feel that this is what we are supporting. This is what we are saying. Let's go ahead. So I feel good about today. Of course, there can be emotions, there can be anger, but we are human beings, and anger is acceptable in a human being. But I think let us get the major message out, that as media, as people who are activists, and people who have been through this for many years, let us work together. I feel good. I'm so happy that this happened.
Those who know me, you know that I say what I feel. And those who hate me always hate me for the truth. Those who love me and believe in me because of the truth. And I'm going to start with this. And I'm going to show it to you. When you say that MC Katz feared HIV shock, what is the shock? Is this the first time that you've heard that somebody has HIV? What is the shock for the media? When you say that celebrity MC stars panic, what is the panic? What are you panicking about? What are you panicking about after 3 decades of this epidemic in Uganda? I'm going to say this. I think the panic is because of ignorance. I think this is a very ignorant reporter, and I do not care who they are. I do not even care. I cannot even care. But the media needs to know that much as you are a powerful community, we are powerful.
Yeah!
We are powerful because we took a bold step.
Yeah.
We are powerful because we stand up to be counted. And we are powerful because we have confronted stigma. We have confronted this bull by its horns.
Lack is the information you're covering. If you get this information from us who have dealt with a disease, who have dealt with a stigma and discrimination, I believe you guys will not be treating us the same way. No. When I disclosed in 2012, everyone came out. It was only one media person who stood with me. Raphael Okello stood with me all the way. And stigma now! He wrote my articles every Saturday with passion, with love. And he could even provide financial support that I go ahead and educate, and I sensitize the young people. I sensitize the media. But you guys are just here. How can you say it was social media when we even have evidence there? Do not try to protect yourself.
That was it for today at the press conference. We've had it from the advocates, from human rights, from civil society organization, talking about discrimination, talking about HIV. And of course the key point was everyone here can report about this, everyone here can be a counselor, everyone here can guide each other. And of course, another take home is it's not about that people are talking about this HIV or whatever and stigmatization. The thing is we are ignorant about these things. We just say things that we don't know. The internet is there. Can't we all do research and look at this and then we speak about HIV as if we can't look for the information and we start spreading the right information to people. And of course, helping people living with HIV, giving them a space. When they disclose, they help another person. Of course, they give the confidence the other person to disclose that the community and the society all live a happy life. And of course, they help everyone. And of course, before we go, I know you are into festival, it's a holiday, you're having fun, you're home, you're not at work, you're watching your TV, you're watching right now Flap Club show, which is like 2020 is gonna be a massive one, it's gonna be a good, really, really show for us. Now, if like you're in a relationship, my message now you can listen to my message now. If you're in a relationship, please be faithful to someone that you truly love, and you are happy with the relationship. Be faithful to her, be faithful to. Sometimes it's about communication. Communicate with things if they are not going in the right way. At least talk to the person that you know what, this is not going. It's like you're not going anywhere. It's something that is not right, which you need to address. That is one. That is being for the communication. That is being faithful. And of course, being faithful also is like is one of the ways you not get this HIV. Two, and maybe I will stop abstain. Abstain if you're single, like just abstain. Maybe you're single, like one of my friends, like George, we don't know. It's just a mistake. And maybe for our friend, Eric, for him is faithful. These are our people. This is my circle. My circle, these guys are from, they know what they do. And of course, the first thing, my photographer is also it's not because it's the last thing that God can do is all things like abstaining, you can't abstain, and you can't be faithful, and of course, it's common. Put it on, like December is here, the holiday is here, January, put it on like every time you're gonna have sex with someone that you don't know HIV status, and go for the HIV test with your partner, your big friend. Advise your friends to go for HIV test. Use condom. I'm still emphasizing on that. Use condom. Use condom. Bye bye. See you next time, 2020. Happy New Year. Enjoy your holidays. I'll see you in the next shorts.